Hi, and welcome back to challenges for the APS challenge situation. I don't even know what to call it, but May. Here are May's challenges. I'm going to move myself out of the way and we're going to jump right in. If you do not know what this is, my Discord and I have come up with some challenges for each month that are like creative based, where you build and make Sims, and then a legacy based one, and they're completely opposite. You can do one, you can do the other, you can do them both. You can, of course, do neither, but if you want to participate, you can choose which ones you want to do. I'm going to be up here. I'm just covering up the thing that says play the legacy for Gen 2. So that's not affecting anything right now. So let's talk about this. Here are our creative challenges for May. And this is the only thing that we're doing. We're not doing the get struck by lightning and build a garden or whatever. Whatever you built for the previous two, feel free to incorporate them into these builds. Or if you're playing the legacy, incorporate them into the legacy build. Make that be the garden at your legacy house or something. Now, these two I think are going to be so much fun. So we have cartoon for the first one. So when you're making a sim, also for this, if you make just a sim, if you make a sim and a build, like it's completely up to you. You can do them both. You can do one or the other. For the build, you can make a whole house or you can make a room. Like everything is up to you. And also it all came from this challenge at the bottom down here, 100-day creativity challenge from Illusory Thrall. And that is the website. So it's going to be linked in the video, but go check this out if you want to see more. There's 100 of them, and we are literally starting at the top and doing 2 every month. So these 2, we have cartoon. For the sim creation, you're going to take one of your favorite cartoons as inspiration and create a sim or a sim family to represent the character or characters from the cartoon. That's it. And if that's as far as you want to go with it, that's as far as you want to go. If you want to make a house or venue or room based on the world of your cartoon, make it as unrealistic as you want. So depending on what cartoon you pick, I know that people have already like made the house in Family Guy and they've made the Simpsons house. And so those kinds of things. So you can take inspiration from that. You can make your own thing that says this would be set in the world of whatever the cartoon is. It's up to you. I would say that also anime fits under this. I went and looked down the list. I just did a cursory glance of the list and I didn't see anything that was specifically anime. So I say cartoon and anime can go together. You pick whatever you're inspired by, your favorite or one of your favorites, and make a sim or a sim family and make a house or a venue or a room. And then when you upload it to the gallery, she does want you to put hashtag 100-day creativity because you got the idea from her. But I would also love if you would put hashtag APS monthly challenge. That way we know what you're doing. And then maybe somewhere in there you can say it's the challenge for May. You don't have to though, but that would be cool. I am going to be doing a video in the middle of April. No. I am going to be doing a video in a couple of weeks where I go look at everything that's been uploaded to the gallery under the monthly challenge, just so we can see what people have been building and check things out that way. So be sure to look out for that if you've been loading things to the gallery under that hashtag, because I'm going to be looking at them. The second build creativity is alien. And for your sim creation, you're going to create an alien sim and their disguise. If you don't have the get to work pack, you can make an alien looking sim. So they don't have to be the alien occult. They can just be alien looking. For the build, make an alien-themed home base somewhere in the sim world other than Sixum. So if you know how to use the debug cheats to get there, you can get the alien plants and decor if you have Get to Work. And you can decorate your alien space in that way. You're just making a home base. So it doesn't have to necessarily be a home. It could be like a whole planet area with a small little living pod for your alien to live in or whatever. It's completely up to you. Do whatever you want. Go wild. I cannot wait to see what some of these look like. I can't wait to build mine either. Usually I'm not a builder, but this 100-day creativity has really helped me to try new things and do things I wouldn't normally do. I have no idea what cartoon I'm going to do. I have to go back and think from when I was a child because I don't even watch animated anything anymore. So I don't know what I'm going to pick. If you guys know what you're going to do, let me know down below and I'll be on the lookout for them. Now we move into the big rules, and I'm going to completely take my face off of here so I'm not blocking anything. Now, this is assuming that you have already done Generation 1 with Forest. If you have not done that and you're just finding these and you want to do that, then go look at the challenge video for April. I will link it up in the card above right now, and you can go check out April's rules and how to start the legacy with Forest. So assuming that you've played through Forest, you have your 2 children, at least 2. I know some of you had multiple babies, so you have more than 2. But if you have your 2 and you've picked out your heir, here is where you start. When your heir becomes a young adult, you're going to create a holiday on the first day of the season that you started Forest Generation. So if you started in spring, summer, fall, winter, wherever you started, you're going to go to the first day of that season and you're going to create a holiday. And on that holiday, you're going to pick one thing that helps you remember the legacy. So not specifically Forest, we're going to do that later, but something that reminds you of the beginning of the legacy. Like maybe you will go fishing that day because the first thing that Forrest did was go fishing. Maybe you will play a video game on a computer because I know for mine, the first thing that Forrest did was sit down at the computer I got him and start playing video games before he even did the work things that he was supposed to do. So I think that's what I'm going to do for beginning the legacy. I'm just going to say play video games today to remember the beginning when it all started. Maybe you put that you want to collect things because maybe you went around and collected things. I don't know. Maybe Forrest accidentally set your kitchen on fire and now you want to do something to do with fire, light the fire pit or something every time this rolls around. Now, if you don't have seasons or if you're not playing with that right now, set it up where you try to remember to do a celebration one day every 4 weeks. So I said one day a week, but no, it's one day every 4 weeks. Okay, with number 2, you get to start making your own decisions. So Forrest and the siblings or the sibling or siblings that are left in the house can continue to live there until they die. Or you can make a new house for them and move them out and keep your heir in the main house. Or your main heir can move out and get their own house. However, you have to have enough money for those things. So if Forrest moves out, he has to have money. You can also just move the sibling out. I know a lot of you have ideas for what's going to be happening with your heir's sibling, and that is totally fine. You can move them out and do whatever. You can move them out and remove them from your played Sims and let Neighborhood Stories take over and just see what happens with them. That would be fun as well. You've got all kind of options, but you need your heir to be living in the house, possibly alone, possibly with their dad and sibling. Okay? Up to you what you want to do. Now, Forrest can keep his job. When he becomes an elder, he will retire and he will get his retirement money. Forrest is totally fine to do that and continue to contribute to your house. The siblings cannot. If a sibling stays in your house, they bring no money into the house. So that's up to you. They can just be freeloaders if you want them to. So, also at this stage, you can sell everything that you've been holding on to that you collected during Forest Generation. Now, my preference and what I'm going to do in my game is I am going to sell all the duplicates that I have. And I'm going to keep one of everything because I do want to make this like a legacy challenge that has the collections where we have displayed all the collections. But that is not part of the rules. That's the way I'm going to do it. You are free to sell everything at this point right here before you start and before you decide what you're going to do with Forest. Once you've decided and you start playing, you're done. Now, some of you started playing early because I put the rules out early, and that is totally fine. And if you did that, you can stop at this point and sell everything, and then you can continue playing. I don't want you to be penalized because you started early, which I said you could, and now I'm changing the rules up on you or whatever, but that's what we do at this point. Now, your heir. When they become a young adult, they are going to get the active trait. They're going to join the athlete career, and they can only make money from the athlete career. The aspiration is either going to be friend of the world or leader of the pack. You can pick, you can decide what to do. They're both under the social thing, but One of them is just base game and the other one requires a pack. And so we were trying to do it where you could just be base game if you wanted to. You're going to do your best to complete the aspiration, but that's another thing that I didn't mention before. The aspirations do not have to be completed. You're just going to do your best to do them. Number 4, you're going to have 2 children. In any kind of way that you want to have them, you're going to have 2 children. Biologically, adoption, science babies, whatever. Make sure their names start with the letter B. When child number 1 becomes a child, get them a hedgehog. When child number 2 becomes a child, get them a bubbleless. I'm not even sure how to say that, but whatever. If and when the pets die, you have to get another one and replace it with the same name with a number. So if you name your hedgehog Bill, let's say, then hedgehog number 2 will be Bill 2, and so on. So that's the naming convention that we're using for every one of the little animals that you will bring into your house, okay? So your 2 children each have some form of rodent or whatever. I talk about it later if you don't have those, so just a minute. They come from the My First Pet pack. So, number 5, the heir's partner or spouse. So you will have one, a partner or a spouse. If your sim for some reason is aromantic or asexual and they don't want a partner, then you can definitely just move in a roommate. They're going to be a diver or a lifeguard. Maybe you meet them at one of your outings, which you'll find out about in a minute. If you don't have the diver or lifeguard job, they can take any part-time job. When they move in, they have a pet rat. Same naming convention as before. Your spouse can be a townie or someone from the gallery that has no skills, and they can only make money from their job. Now, I said spouse, but you know I mean partner or I mean roommate. So however this person moves in, they only make money from their job, and they can be a townie or someone from the gallery. After your partner has moved in and one of your children have been born, you become friends with someone from your team, that's your job, the athlete career, and they move in with you. When they move in, they have a hamster. Same naming situation. They decide then to quit their job. They're going to quit the team. Maybe they get kicked off the team. You can decide how that happens. And now they will only make money from online video game tournaments. If you do not have the online video game tournaments, they can also get a part-time job. And that's the only way they can make money. Now, the special thing for your whole family is you're going to be town explorers. And that means once a week, someone in your house has to go to a new location. I suggest making this a holiday or event on your calendar. That's what I'm going to do on mine so that I will not forget. There's no rules about it. Just go do something once a week that's outside of your own neighborhood and not in a neighborhood that you just recently went to. Now, I'm not going to require you to remember that 4 weeks ago you went to this one place so you can't go back there. That's totally up to you. If you forget, just try not to go the same place 2 weeks in a row. And that's it. We just have one extra thing for the packs and things that you don't have. As long as you add a new animal to your house when someone moves in or when your kids age up, you don't have to get the exact animal that I stated. I just want to pick one of everything that's available, and that seemed like the easiest way to keep up with it. If you have no animal packs, then you add a frog or a fish with each new sim, and your sim, that sim that got added, needs to interact with the frog or the fish every day. So if you add your children when they become a kid, they'll get a pet frog, and they need to talk to that frog every day or view the frog. I'm not sure what the interaction is with the frog. I think it's just view. But anyway, then a note on the kids. This is exactly the same as it was last time. If it's an adopted child, you always randomize their first trait as a child. We're assuming that came from their biological parent. One of the heir's traits as a teen, and then they'll get the group trait if they are the heir when they become a young adult. For biological children, they're going to get a trait from each parent as a child and a teen, so you can pick. And then the group trait as the young adult if they're the heir. If they're not the heir, you can randomize it. You can pick whatever you want, and you can do whatever you want with them. So, I think that's it. The group trait will be given at the beginning of June. That's what I said, but it'll actually probably be the middle of May like I do last time. So, don't forget. I know I said when you've completed the challenge down here at the bottom, it says when you've completed the challenge, enter your information on this form. Sorry, that'll go away in a second. That form, you don't have to wait until you're finished. I just want your people to all be born, all your kids to be born, and everybody be living in your house. So when you get close to being done and you have 2 children, at least 2, I can't control anything if you have biological twins. Although if you have twins the first time, you're done. You had your 2 kids. But if your second pregnancy is twins, I can't do anything about it. That's totally fine. But once you've had your children, your partner, spouse, roommate lives with you, your ex-teammate lives with you, then you're fine to fill out the form. And then I'm going to go in the end of May or the beginning of June, I will go back to this form and check out what everybody's done. A lot of you have already filled out the April form, and it's fantastic. I love looking at everything that you guys have done and how different and similar. Some of you have the same tattoo story, which I think is fantastic. So, we are going to go over all of those in a video that's coming out, I think, next week. So just be on the lookout for that. And I think that's it. As always, let me know if you guys have any problems, if questions, if you need verification on anything about these rules. And that's going to do it. I will see you guys in May for our Legacy Challenge. Bye.